All right, guys, we are in the month of October. It's been a wild ride getting here. Are we heating up? Are we cooling down? What's going on? Stick around. We're going to get right into it today. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your realtor Nick Isgro with eXp Realty here in Central Maine. As you know, on this channel we cover all things real estate here in the state of Maine, particularly in the Central Maine market. If that's of interest to you or that adds value to your process, please do go ahead and like this video, hit the subscribe button, knock that little alarm bell, and you will be notified every time we have new content. Now I want to jump right in here fresh because everybody's been asking what is going on in the market. We're in the month of October. Are we starting to cool down? Are we starting to see some of those same trends that we saw last month, where even though sales were turning, things were coming onto the market, we saw an ever-growing inventory because the days on market was adding up a little bit longer. We were seeing a little bit longer market times, which was putting a little bit of downward pressure on prices. That was great for you buyers. Let's dig in a little bit to those same statistics this month and see where we might be headed for October. I'm gonna jump right in here with new listings. As you can see, tremendous drop. 206 new listings in the month of September here in the Central Maine market. That is about 50 less new listings than the month before, which was about 20 less listings in the month before that. So we are definitely starting to see that seasonal trend of listings coming downward as we enter into the later fall market. Does that mean that we should be concerned? No, I don't think so at all. If you look at the trend, actually last October we had about 200 listings. We dumped to about 140, 146 I think it was in the month of November last year. December, obviously the tightest month of the year. So certainly a seasonal trend, but it does mean that things are going to start tightening up as we move forward here when it comes at least to new listings, sellers deciding to put on the brakes perhaps and maybe wait until the spring market to get their house listed. Jumping into the sold listings, 223 sales. Not huge, but definitely if you look at the graph, a slight uptick from the month before. That means we actually sold more homes in the month of September than we did in the month of August. So we have less new listings, more homes sold. What is that doing to the current inventory? No surprise. 334 current active listings, slightly less than the month before. So last month we saw that uptick in the current inventory because things were sitting a little bit longer. This month starting to squeeze back a little bit. Nothing dramatic. I mean, the numbers are frankly almost the same as they were the month before when you look at the overall listings, but still it could be indicative of a trend, and it makes sense when you look at the new listings as well as the sold numbers from this last month. Now, of course, as we jump right over here to the absorption rate, you're going to see that same kind of trend. Remember, the absorption rate is basically the months of supply. Like if we were to stop putting any new listings on now, we were to sell everything on the market, how long would it take us to go through? 2.01, or roughly same as last month, it was 2.07, 2 months worth of supply on the market. So for you buyers out there, not crazy amounts of homes sitting around on the market, but definitely a decent amount of supply for you, for those buyers who are still hanging in there and still in the market. And I know that there's plenty of you guys out there because I work with a lot of you. Now, this next statistic, I think I say this every month, is one of my absolute favorite to look at. I think it's very important to both sellers and to buyers. It's a question I get asked all the time. What is the average days on market? This last month, you can take a look. We dropped back down 20 days on the market. 25 days the month before, which was actually an increase from what we had been seeing over the summer, where we had really squeezed that inventory and houses were flying off the market. We went from about 14 days to 18, then jumped up to 25 days. This last month, we are now scaling back 20 days. That's indicative of a healthy market. That means that buyers are out there, they're still buying the homes, the inventory is still turning over. What is that doing to price? Let's jump over and take a look at that. This is the sale to list price ratio. This is when you listed the price, did you get 100% of what you asked for? Did you get more or did you get less? We saw this summer, it went up to 102%. We saw a big increase in what people were offering. People were essentially offering more than what people were asking for the homes. This month, you can see we're following the trend as last month. We dropped just slightly below 100 last month. We're at about 98% sale to price ratio. We're at 98.6, or essentially 99% sale to price ratio. So really right where we were last month, not a major squeeze. It means that people are by and large, as we see a little bit longer market times, and we're seeing inventory still maintaining around that 2-month mark, which is more than it was before. People are finding a little bit of room to negotiate. They're not having to necessarily go that extra step of offering way above the list price. Now for you sellers out there, that's still great news. It still means essentially sellers are by and large getting what they're asking for. You just might not get that additional premium as when we were in some of those hotter months. Now for a lot of people who might be asking, geez, does this mean that the market's cooling off? No, it definitely doesn't. This is why I always like to focus on the seasonal trend lines rather than the specific numbers, because if you look a year ago, we were starting on the same path. We went down to 98, 97, 96% maybe in January of last year, but then overall the numbers came right back up. Nothing major is going on here. I think overall, all of this means that the market is doing exactly what we thought it was going to do all of this time. The market is maintaining a strong, healthy, robust seller's market where homes are definitely taking a little bit longer than they were in the summer months, but we're definitely holding the trend of where we were a year ago. It's almost like we're just repeating these same patterns. And this is why I think it's really important not to listen to all of the talking heads on TV, because people are seeing some of these numbers, and just a couple of months ago we were hearing, oh, the market's softening, things are crashing down. Guys, no they didn't. Things are exactly as they were a year ago at this time. Overall, I think this is great news for everybody all around. I think that what we're seeing is still a strong market for sellers. Buyers are now finding some of those seasonal opportunities to get into a home while the inventory is still there, as well as maybe not pay that additional premium that they were worried about having to pay in some of the summer months, and rates are maintaining at historical lows. As much as I would love to come on here and shock some of you guys with some major results, I think in the end, this is great news. I like to come on here and say, you know, things are maintaining when you have a healthy market. Some of the things that we want to pay attention to over the coming month are how many buyers are staying in the market, or how many buyers rather are going to be pulling out and maybe waiting till spring, or are they going to hang in there through the winter months and look for those great opportunities as supply and demand dwindle a little bit. The other thing we want to look at as we move forward is on the sell side, how tight does the inventory get over the coming months? Of course, as always, if you guys are in the market right now, either buying or selling, go ahead and drop a comment below. I would love to hear what your experience has been and what you might be seeing in your particular market area. Here on this channel, we're going to continue to cover these statistics every single month. I always want to encourage you guys to dig into this stuff, look at the trend lines, because it's really going to make you the best prepared seller or the best prepared buyer to know what you're getting into when you head out to the marketplace. If you guys have been thinking about going to market, either as a buyer or a seller, please also drop a comment below. Would love to engage with you. You can also shoot me a text or give me a phone call. Again, my name is Nick Isgro with eXp Realty here in Central Maine. I hope this video added value to your month and your experience in the real estate market, and I will see you next time.